Hey YouTube! So I have some super exciting news to talk about today. I have a super embarrassing moment to talk about and kind of some pre-op, pre-surgery stuff to cover. And yeah, just kind of go into details about what my program offers and requires and is asking of me pre-op. So the exciting news is that the surgeon cleared me for surgery. I was really nervous because I did get back down to about 219, I think it was. And then of course, the day I had my appointment with the surgeon to meet my surgeon, I weighed in on their scale at 223. Needless to say, that was last Thursday, and on Saturday I started my period. So that explains that. And so I was super nervous that they weren't going to approve me for surgery. But she did. She said that they just want to see a downward trend, and see that you can sort of change your lifestyle and, yeah, just at least that you're going down. It's okay to do a little bit of this, especially being women. We talked a lot about kind of the week before surgery and leading up to it, the diet that I'll be following, the liver shrinking diet. Everyone's a little bit different in terms of what they have to do that week or 2 weeks even before your surgery. So depending on, your health, your weight, your body fat percentage, all of the above, is kind of how either strict or how lenient they are in terms of your pre-op diet. So, excuse me, for me, I get to have 2 to 3 protein shakes a day and then 1 actual meal a day, which is, consists of 3 to 4 ounces of lean protein and 2 to 3 cups of non-starchy vegetables. And I can have unlimited, clear liquids. So water, tea, Crystal Light, all of that stuff. And then this I thought was very strange. The night before your surgery, they want you to drink 28 to 32 ounces of regular full sugar Gatorade. And then the next morning, 4 hours before you arrive at the hospital, they want you to drink another whole bottle of full sugar Gatorade. Obviously it's carb loading, just like you would do before a marathon. It's just so strange because, all surgeries, you're not supposed to eat or drink, sometimes even for 24 hours before it's usually 12 hours, I think. So yeah, that was crazy. I know when I, had my son, I didn't eat for probably 2 full days. I was just on an IV and on fluids. It was kind of crazy. So anyways, yeah, I'm not too worried about the pre-op diet. I think that that's going to be fairly okay and easy for me. I think what's going to be hard is, and I'm going to try and take that week off of work, because I think trying to work and focus and think and work out and come home and take care of my son and be a good wife and, do all of the things in life that I would normally do when I'm only eating, probably less than, I would say, 800 calories a day, because each protein, drink that I have is, about 160 calories, and then, 3 to 4 ounces of lean protein and 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables is not going to be more than, 400 calories. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and do that. And then the hospital recommends, or the surgeon recommends, 4 weeks off of work. And so we'll just kind of take things as they come. She did say that I can't pick up the baby from the floor for 3 full weeks. So that is going to be difficult. We are absolutely so blessed and so lucky that our in-laws, my husband's parents, live with us. And so I will have a ton of help, and they actually want to take him on a road trip. And so they are doing a little mini one right now with him. And actually by the time I post this, they'll be back, but they're going to be gone for 3 days and 2 nights this time to kind of do a little practice run, but they want to do a longer road trip with just him and them. So the original plan was, you know, because they love doing that. They drove to Alaska, they drove to Florida and back. They love driving all over the United States. And the rule, my husband actually came up with this, was that they had to wait until he could talk. And now, I mean, I think we just all feel more comfortable and feel okay. So I think we're going to plan it for maybe, you know, when I'm like 2 weeks post-surgery. That way, or maybe 1 week post-surgery, you know, get through the weekend, make sure I get home, no complications, everything's okay. And then they're going to take off with him. And, you know, I'll either be home alone or a friend or, you know, my husband on the weekends. But I think that will be really helpful. That way I'm not tempted to pick him up, because I know that even like when I had the biopsy, the doctor told me, you know, 2 weeks, don't pick him up. That didn't happen at all. And so, or maybe it was a week, I don't know, whatever it was. It didn't happen because he's my child and he wants me to hold him and pick him up. And so, I think if he's just not here, that might be a little bit easier. I don't know. I've never been away from him. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I was away from him for 1 full week last year. I had to take a work trip to Virginia. So, yeah, I think that should all be fine. I don't actually have a solid date yet, but they said more than likely it'll be March. So that's super exciting. You know, I really obviously wanted it to be January, and then it was looking more like February, and now it's March. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm having the surgery, and I have the rest of my life to live post-surgery. And so, yeah, it is what it is. And, you know, I really, really connected well with my surgeon. We talked a lot about, you know, having another baby, because that's, you know, super important to me. Something that I found out that I, you know, definitely want to get out there and let people know, let women know, and men, you know, if you have wives or anything going through this, is I thought, you know, and everyone had said 1 year post-surgery, you can get pregnant. And she said actually more like 1.5 years, depending on your vitamin levels. Because if you get pregnant before that 1.5 year mark, or, you know, even more so in that first year, there's about a 70% chance of miscarriage. So that was a little more scary, I guess is the right word. You know, I thought it was like, okay, 1 year, we're good to go. Like, we do it again, we're happy, we go on our merry way. But there's going to be a lot of, you know, testing me beforehand. And she said around that 1 year mark, start getting, you know, regular blood tests done and see where all of my vitamin levels are at. And then from there, I'll be able to make a plan with the doctor and with her. And they actually have is it neonatal unit at OHSU that she said that, you know, I could work with that whole team. So I know I'll be in good hands, and you know, things will happen when they're supposed to happen. But yeah, that was just something that I learned that was a little bit different than what I had been told or, you know, read up on before. So, embarrassing moment. So, I found out that I needed to do a pre-op nicotine and drug test. That was fine. I was like, whatever, you know, take my blood. I have pretty good veins. I also had to do a stool sample, and I have never done that before. So took it home last Thursday, you know, did it this morning, and the whole situation was very odd. Very weird experience for me. And, you know, I put it in the container, and I put that container in 2 different Ziploc bags because I was freaked out about the car. And then they had this white bag that they gave me, so I put that in there. So I walk into the lab to give it to them, and, you know, the guy at the desk, you know, he was attractive, and maybe he was flirty. I don't really know. I'm not good at like recognizing people are flirty, but he was like really nice, and he started joking with me like, oh, did you bring me a Christmas present? Christmas is already over. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you want this gift. And then he looks at my chart and his whole demeanor changed, and I can tell I'm turning red right now. I'm just bright red because I didn't expect him to like joke like that. And then I go to hand him the bag and he's like, why don't you put it right there? And wanted me to put it on the desk. And he's like, is there a lid on it? And I go, yes. And it's like literally triple sealed. It's not going anywhere. And he's like, okay, all right, well, thanks for the gift. And oh my God, it was really embarrassing. Yeah, so that is something that you're gonna have to do. They have to test you for a gut bacteria, because if you have said gut bacteria, which I don't remember what it was called, what she called it, some long name, then it's easier to treat pre-surgery rather than post-surgery. So that was a crazy experience. If you can, I would suggest doing it there so that you don't have to transport it home, deal with, disposing of this little cup thing that hooks onto your toilet. It'd be so much easier if I would have just been able to go or needed to go there. So anyways, look forward to that if you are contemplating surgery. So yeah, that was crazy. Probably the most embarrassing thing that has happened so far in this process. And then today I had my pre-op class. So in the pre-op class, they cover, the diet, they cover, drinking the Gatorade, and then post-surgery, they pump you full of gas. And so talked a lot about walking, getting enough liquids in. They gave us this fun little body wash thing. There's a label on it, but I think this is what it's actually called. So we have to shower with this the night before. It says, be very careful not to get this on your face and don't put it in your hair. But you have to shower neck to feet with this the night before and then the morning of, just to get your skin really, really uber super clean, to help mitigate any risk of bacteria getting transferred, when you're there. Obviously they sterilize your, the whole area, but I think this just really helps. And then also I am gonna go pick up, they put a prescription in for this special mouthwash that I'll use for a week, in the morning and at night leading up to surgery as well, because they put the tube down your throat. There's a camera that they need to see that goes down your esophagus. And that helps mitigate any bacteria as well, getting pushed down into your esophagus and stomach. So yeah, some extra little things that I didn't quite know about. And then also post-surgery, they give you a pneumonia, what is this thing called? They just call it a device. So basically it's just a device that you breathe into, I think to ensure that you're taking really deep breaths so that you limit the complications of pneumonia. So we talked about that. I didn't realize I'd have to do that. I think it said 10 times per hour. So another little thing that you have to remember. And I can already tell you guys that between having to take vitamins, taking medications, eating, drinking, now blowing into, a device, getting up and walking every 2 hours, like that first week post-surgery is going to be extremely overwhelming. So having a, support system, I think is going to be extremely important. I've heard a lot of people say that like post-surgery, the excessive hair falling out, the hospitalization due to being dehydrated, all of these complications, people fainting, these things can happen when you don't remember to, take your vitamins and drink your water. And so it's going to be a lot to, sort of digest and take in, and remember to do. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like a whiteboard, or I might have a spare one, I don't know, but get a whiteboard and, you know, sort of write everything that I need to do and sort of like a daily schedule by the hour, so that I know, okay, I can look up at that and say, okay, I took my vitamins this morning, check. I am sipping on water, you know, I've already gotten 2 ounces down by, you know, 10 a.m., check, that sort of thing. So, you know, my family members can kind of see it, and then I can see it, and it's just a good visual. And then after that, it'll just have to be, you know, once I go back to work, it'll be, you know, reminders on my phone, and it's going to be a lot to, you know, sort of remember and to do. So yeah, that was kind of, really it, you know, the class today, it was just, you know, that extra little moment, I guess, of, clarification on things. You know, we discussed, again, what types of, vitamins, and also where we were going to have the surgery, because it's not actually in the same building as the, you know, the appointments and all of the other things that we've been doing. It's at the actual hospital. Yeah, so I mean, it was very good. It was informative. It was with one of the nurses that works in that unit, so that was nice to be able to just sort of get some extra little things from her. I know that my program is asking that we stay away from the Flintstones vitamins. I guess that was sort of a big push there for a while, because, you know, they're children's vitamins. They should have like everything, and then you just had to take extra, you know, calcium or iron depending on your personal levels, and B12. But now they're saying no, go with strictly just bariatric vitamins. So I'm actually going to order a few more samples. I tried Bariatric Fusion. What's the really popular one? There's a really popular one. I know it was in here. Oh, here. Bariatric Fusion. Bariatric Advantage. Those tasted like chalk. They were disgusting. So I know that I'm probably gonna stay away from that one. But the Fusion, I did try a couple different flavors of that one, and I did like them. So I want to also try O Purity. I did not get a sample of that one from my dietitian, so that's one that I'd like to try. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and now it's just a waiting game. They submitted to my insurance today, so hopefully I hear back within, you know, a week or two, and then we can get a date on the books. So yeah, I have a video of me working out and sort of the progress on our gym. I just haven't gotten around to editing it, so excuse me, I need my water. So I will get around to doing that and posting that, and then I will keep everyone up to date on a date and sort of what that pre-op process is going to entail, and sort of, you know, I'll vlog while I'm in it, because I'm sure it'll be challenging. This whole process has, you know, been challenging, but even more so, you know, pre and post surgery will be the most challenging. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to really sort of have the end somewhere near. And if you guys have any questions or suggestions of things, you know, that I can do a video on, or that you'd like to know more about, please just leave it in the comments below, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.